Hello everybody, how is it going? It is your boy, the Viable Newbie. So, Sorcery Jokers. This is a game I've kind of been anticipating. I've been waiting for it for a little while. I saw like a video of its opening, I think back in like mid 2017, later 2017 I think. And it is finally out. It dropped today, so I went and got it. It is I think like $35 on Steam. So if you guys want to pick up a copy for yourself, I recommend it. It's supposed to be really good. And we're going to do a Let's Play of it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. It's really nice. Here's one thing, just to kind of show you guys. Like, this game is voice acted, so like, there's a lot of voice acting, but it's in Japanese. So like, yeah, see, like that sorcery joke, someone says it like every time you come onto the title screen, which I think is a nice little touch. But alright, we're going to get started. Let's start. Okay. Date update. If there's parts that have Japanese, I'll probably still say it anyway, just cause. Unless it's yeah, so it's not all voice acted. Beneath a square cut out of the sky, between buildings towering on all sides. Filling the space were clinging shadows of just the sort you'd expect in a place with obstructed light. Yeah, so if they talk, I probably won't read it. At twilight, when dusk ruled, a figure bled into the shadows as if right at home. Though the pair searching for this figure were paying due attention, they went right past him without noticing his presence. This wasn't because of his appearance or because of their carelessness, but rather because he erased his very presence amidst the shadows, with his breath bated and his thoughts turned to the other world, making it unclear whether or not he were still human, so that it was only natural they'd merely perceived him as part of the gaping darkness. Therefore, it would be more appropriate to describe him as something like a shadow, or perhaps a reflection. Oh, reflection, okay. This reflection casually lent his eyes and ears to his surroundings, not shuddering even once in the chill around him. It was the season of frost. Countless tiny scars marred the back of the hand held up against his chilled ear. It would be no exaggeration to say that those scars marked the path the reflection had walked, his history carved into him. Okay. A hissing breath. In an instant, his eyes glinted like a beast hunting prey. That's how you know this is a quality visual novel. Gotta have ... Those eyes could pierce even that which was invisible. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Oh, jamming. Okay. Whoa. Was there any meaning in the single clench of his fist? That was, in fact, all that had transpired. Yet the transmission had been cut off before the culprit's features had been fully reported. The transmissions were sent by a special method. A method both understood and widely used by the population at large. Magic. These transmissions, specially fortified against monitoring and interference, had with extreme ease been cut off by the reflection. Ooh, okay. This man sounds serious. Sorry, I feel it. He spat thus while running fingers through his hair, which had lacked pigment since his birth. They're talking about, I think, the dye in his hair. That was an assumption. Alright, he's cool. I like it. Showing no genuine concern for the matter, in the next instant he fled into the night. The reflection may have had an entry for impossible in his dictionary, but the phrase common sense was certainly not among its pages. He was simply too far removed from the very concept of someone being pursued, as if his pursuers' attempts to apprehend him weren't the least bit inconvenient. Okay, that was savage, I get it. He ran deeper, deeper, and deeper into the alley. He ran with a regular form, as if only on a daily jog, breathing at a fixed, rhythmic pace. When a foul smell reached his nose, his feet stopped. Black garbage bags, plastic bin. The season did nothing to disguise the fishy odor of the waste practically bursting from those bags. Okay. Going by the information he'd sniffed out, the reflection surmised that the building he was behind housed a kitchen, and stepped up to its back door with quiet composure. Okay. Alright. Geometric patterns appeared like a hologram on the blank card he had drawn just before arriving at the door. This was the first time the reflection had visited this place. The first time he touched this door, and it opened just like a magic trick. Alright, I'm feeling it. So, like, the only question I have right now is, like, since he's presenting this like an inspection, so, like, I'm guessing cops can do this regularly, like, just walk into any building they want because of magic or something. I don't know. I'm sure we will find out. I'm gonna keep going. He moved through the confined kitchen with a fluid agility. As the reflection slipped through the building to the front exit like a leaf on the wind, it took some time for the workers in the kitchen to exchange glances and come to the realization that he wasn't supposed to be there. Allowing his impressions to slip out was his one mistake. Paying no mind to the chef and his fit of anger over the missing plate of chicken, the reflection wiped away the sign of his respite from his lips. ... At this point, the reflection had already completed his escape. He managed to make it to the place devoid of pursuers. Perhaps his only want, as he saw it completely safe, was to parch his throat. Woo! With quiet, leisurely footfalls, he stepped out onto the main street. Completely devoid of the hurry, nerves, or guilt of one on the run, he looked like nothing more than the average passerby. Therefore, he made none of the sort of mistakes that would land him in any new trouble. Any drama he could encounter at this point would only be a product of coincidence or fate. Suddenly, a thunderous roar out of the place on a quiet street made his foot stop. The reflection should have been nothing but an average bystander now that he stopped unnaturally. The air in the space around him seemed to slant. He should have had barely any presence, yet he now displayed an unusual concentration. He turned in the direction that the sound had come from, glared around a corner, and a few seconds later... A man on the run appeared, his long hair waving in the wind. He continued running around the corner without looking where he was going, instead looking behind him as if he were being chased by a ghost, irritatedly clucking his tongue.
Oi.
Really? He wasn't watching where he was going at all. Upon noticing the reflection before him, the long-haired man quickly hit the brakes and managed to avoid a last-minute collision. He halted for a moment, as if trying to decide between cursing and running. You just get blasted? What? Okay. In that instant, a blazing fireball grazed their noses, burying itself into the ground far ahead of them. Who are you? Blue. Blue dyed his vision until a form appeared within it. Whose man's is this? The asphalt was scorched by heat, easily surpassing its kindling point as a wall of blue flames loomed fiendishly before him. Yeah, so I'm guessing magic is like a police thing maybe, or a government thing. Like people have to be like authorized to use it, I guess. The boy's heart was still as water, but his gaze, completely free of misgivings, was raging hotter than flames. Oh, so they're going after this guy. Anyone who saw it would know that the boy's uniform signified the First National School for Higher Magic Education, more commonly referred to as Academy. Trapped by walls of blue flame, the long-haired man reached out to the reflection, intending to take the convenient bystander hostage. Nani? Okay. However, the man who should have been there no longer was. Nothing up his sleeve. The reflection was already walking toward the boy when he was grazed by that fireball. He really was just walking. Normally when fire erupts in one's vicinity, one would be unable to process the situation, shrinking away in dumbfounded terror. Normally, fire flying one's way would make one panic, would make one flee screaming. One would either move fiercely or stop moving altogether. One of the two would be the typical reaction for a person. That's why he missed the reflection. He assumed he would still be beside him. That's how weak in existence the reflection was. The boy gave his eyes a little rub as he realized that the bystander he thought had gotten involved, the reflection, had gotten that close. As he passed, the boy felt the reflection's gaze on his arm. His ring, his magic license. He seemed to show a bit of interest in the device, which was emitting a warning. The reflection turned his unaffected eyes to the distance and walked off, carrying himself like a specter, and clearly not intending to see the scene through to its conclusion. The boy's intention and unclouded gaze were focused solely on his opponent. A feverish conviction blindly governed his actions, the same heat as in the flame he specialized in controlling. Burst. Having lost any other resource, the long-haired man took up a stance to begin drawing out his magic. Unlike with martial arts, which have standard forms depending on whether they emphasize offense, defense, or range, all magic users have a different stance. What's important is that the user feels they're in a position most suitable for their magic, something that just fits. The gust he unleashed created blades of air pressure that rushed at the boy. Ooh, it's getting... The boy was stopped by a wall of wind, with no way to avoid his invisible attacks. Countless cuts grazed him before he could react. While not very lethal on their own, the shallow cuts had not been blocked with his arms, had been blocked with his arms, so as to avoid damage to more fatal areas like his eyes or neck. and the blood loss from the bruises would add up over time. The man had lied. Anyone level-headed would have been able to figure out what the cornered rat's plan really was. The long-haired man was on the run, and his time was limited. The little slices served to draw the boy's attention while the man prepared for his fatal blow. Faking this boy out, he's about to destroy this boy. Okay. Ooh. The long-haired man focused his long-range attacks, bringing forth a new gust of unparalleled accuracy. Like trees felled with an axe, the streetlights to the right and the left of the boy bent down towards him. Yeah, is this boy about to get bodied? At the same moment the long-haired man stood in motion in his trap, he took off like a bullet, challenging the boy. It would be simple for the boy to avoid the streetlights, but in that instance the long-haired man could launch a point-blank attack of powerful magic. It's a reckless gamble, but one that's unexpectedly effective. Rather than careful plans, simple tricks like these are much more effective. The long-haired man was well aware of how important it is to be decisive in a fight. Is this boy about to body him? However, that idea, that logic, it required the balance of power between them to be close to equal. Oh my god. Concentrating his 5 senses into the palm of his hand and releasing it, that was the boy's most effective way to utilize his magic. A wave of heat erupted from the hand he slammed to the ground, warping the streetlights that threatened to crush him. The poles bent like wires, falling down on the long-haired man who had been trying to take the boy's flank. Oh. He avoided them at the last moment, but unluckily for the long-haired man, it only dodged the after effect of the boy's attack. Noises he wasn't used to hearing, crushing, smashing, burning noises rushed past him. Blue flames drew welts behind them as they rushed through a concrete sea, as if an embodiment of the boy's condition, as if a melody of destruction. Completely stripping the well-paved road, blue flames swam their way through the ground and brushed the long-haired man's toes. Apologize for my inability to English, guys. Oh my god. This guy is getting destroyed. It was all too late for him. All I imagine is that this boy just pulled a whole Omaiwa Moshinderu on this guy. He was just like, Omaiwa Moshinderu, and just flames eviscerate this man. The flames flared up around the long-haired man, as if to drown out his death cries, and proudly did their work. Not gonna lie, those flames are a little loud. I might play around the settings and turn that down later. Ooh, this is the opening. Yes, it is. I saw this before. Ooh. Okay. Sorcery chokers. Okay. Alright. That's me. There's a lot of stuff going on in that opening. I didn't want to talk because I didn't want to spoil it. Like, anything like, didn't want to spoil the experience for anybody. That was interesting. I like that. Whatever was going on. It's a natural thing for a father to scold his son. And there are times when it could even be interpreted as an expression of love. That's why Dad reprimanded me in harsh, though quieting tones, even amidst all the sirens and watching eyes. Okay, so we're at this guy's perspective now. I'll just do my real... Oh, I'm sorry, Dad. I'll apologize for using my magic. Both innocent children and proud politicians need to apologize, honestly, for doing wrong. That said, I didn't particularly like the idea of being criticized for my judgment. Sure, it was wrong to break the rules, but at the times, I had to been the only one around to make sure that they were being followed. While it's against the rules to use magic outside the academy, the culprit left me no choice. It's reckless to go up against a person with a gun empty-handed, and that goes double for an outcast without a ring. Depending on how you use it, magic can be far more dangerous than a gun. That's why mages like us dutifully wear the rings administered to us by the government. Nah, we gotta be troublemakers, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is standard anime protagonist stuff. We gotta be a problem child. Whose heart's in a really good place, honestly. It wasn't the first time we had an exchange like this, which is why Dad sighed in the same resigned way he had last time. People were in danger because of that outcast. Nobody else was around, so I was the only one who could have done something about it. Of course I don't want to go out of my way to put myself in danger, but I can't just turn a blind eye to something happening right in front of me. Boy, how do you open up a hole in the academy? Well, I did fine. Yeah, fine. Oh, okay. That's a detective. Alright. Suddenly the tables are turned. It's all because I tried cramming before the test by pulling an all-nighter, but was thoroughly defeated by sleepiness instead. Yo, dude, I feel that. Guys, just know it's never a good idea. Never pull all-nighters before a test. Like, it will actually kill you. Even if you get through the test, like, afterwards you'll probably die, honestly, from sleepiness, honestly. How truly terrifying is this enemy of mine? The Sandman? It was my responsibility to stand up for myself after losing that battle, but even I could tell how obviously I was avoiding meeting Dad's gaze. As I uselessly racked my brain for reinforcements, help came from an unexpected outside source.
それくらいで許してあげたらどうですか？
Who are you?
小比類巻か。被疑者の搬送は終わったのか？
Korihiri. Oh my, that is a name. Okay, that is a name.
ついさっき護送車に乗せて出発しました。
そうか。ならバーストに撤収命令を出しておいてくれ。俺は現場担当の人間と話してくる。
Dad put out his cigarette in a portable ashtray.
ハルト、お前には署で話を聞かにはならん。そこで少し待ってろ。
Sure thing. I'll call Hina and tell her we'll be home late. Oh, we can go home together, right?
さあな、お前の協力次第だ。
That'll be no problem then. I'm used to police questioning.
バカ野郎が。
Dad turned around and approached an officer who was talking on a car radio. If it's anything like last time, we'll be leaving here in about 5 minutes.
ハルト君、お父さんにはああ言ったけど、本当にこういうのはダメっていつも言ってるでしょ？
Okay. I don't know who you are, but alright. I'm sorry for all the trouble, Yumi-sensei. I really do regret having to disobey instructions.
何度その言葉を聞いたか忘れちゃったわよ。かばってあげられるのも限界があるんだから。ああ、ハルト君の内申点引いておこうかな。
Bro, what? I don't see how that follows. Abusing your authority like that isn't playing fair. Yeah, for real, man, chill. Not only a colleague of my dad's at Burst, the Bureau for Unregistered Magic Regulation and Suppressive Tactics, a kind of national police force, Yumi-sensei is also a powerful caster who teaches at the academy. I am so glad they just call it Burst because that is a long word. A long set of words, I don't know. I'm indebted to her both publicly and privately, so she really has my respect.
君は優秀な学生だから、波の相手ならどうにかなるでしょ。だけど相手は犯罪者なんだから、追い詰められたら何をするかわからないんだから。
逃げ道は一つ用意する。退路を断たれた者は思いがけない力を発揮する時がある。
We're just gonna call him Reflection for like the entire game. Come to think of it, that passerby had said the same sort of thing. I was a bit busy at the time, so I hadn't paid much attention, but it wasn't really the sort of thing you'd say to a complete stranger, was it? Well, no matter how much I ponder it, with my brain the only conclusion I'm gonna be able to reach is he was kind of a strange guy, wasn't he? Yeah, he was pretty strange. Pretty strange.
ハルト君、話聞いてる？
Okay, you're in our face. Alright. I am. I won't forget your advice, Sensei.
もう、次また事件を起こしたらお父さんにきつく叱ってもらうからね。
I mean, he already did, right? Understood.
あと、君だけ課題を増やします。さまざまな方面から全力で君を追い詰めるから覚悟しといてね。
Understood. Damn, my man Haruto. Rest in peace. Extra homework. As I watched Yumi-sensei walk over to where my dad was, I thought about how I'd probably still do the same thing if I found myself in this situation again. I mean, it sounds like this is a common thing. Yes? How can I help you? The voice was loud enough to reach my ears, even considering the noise around us. Who are you? When I turned around, I saw an unfamiliar girl sending an ardent look my way, glaring to tell it was English, glaring to tell it like it was. Okay, who is she? What do you want? Back off my man Haruto. Me? I searched my memories, but still couldn't recall her face. I looked around in a hurry, thinking it might have made an embarrassing mistake, but there was no one else in her line of sight. Yo, have you ever done that for real? Like, I know they do that a lot, sometimes in comedies and stuff, in anime. Where someone will say hi and they're really talking to someone behind them. I've actually done that like twice in my life. And it is very embarrassing, but we're gonna keep on keeping on. Oh, pouty face. Huh? You wouldn't happen to be angry at me, would you? I continued my search as I spoke to her, determined to find her in my memory somewhere. Since she's wearing the academy uniform, I'm at least relatively certain she goes to the same school that she goes to the school there with me. But no matter how far back I thought, I just couldn't place her. I was pretty sure she was upset about something, but she still hadn't followed up after her first sentence. So I had no way of knowing what it was. What should I do? While I was at a loss, the girl had taken something out of a small pouch on her waist. It was a notebook. She thrust it out in front of me so that I could see it. The clasp that I was supposed to hold it shut was torn open. It looks a little dirty and the clasp was coming off. More puffiness, oh no, we're triggering here, guys. I couldn't say anything tactful and instead merely stated the situation as I saw it. When I did, the girl opened her mouth, which had been shut tight, sucked in her breath and said, "Okay, alright. Divine punishment. Punishment by an existence transcending mankind. Meted? I can't English. For some sin committed. In other words, the wrath of God." I went over the phrase in my mind with no idea what she meant by the words, and by the time I realized it, she had already left. ... Did I do something to her? Should I go after her and try to figure out what she meant? My dad called out from behind me while I was asking myself that.
Haruto, 準備ができたから行くぞ。ってどうかしたのか?
Yeah, Dad, this bitch just showed up and she just said she hopes God kills me. Okay, yeah, he's actually telling him, okay. I might meet with divine punishment, Dad. That happens, I'm leaving Hina to you, okay?
はあ? 何を言ってるんだ? いいからさっさと車に乗れ。
Couldn't get that girl out of my head, even while following my dad's instructions. God does punish me. I'm sure I'll deserve it. Since he'd be the one to decide that, I doubt he'd be wrong. Is my boy religious, or what? We're back! I returned home after my questioning. Shortly after I sent that greeting into the living room, I heard the patter of light footsteps heading our way. It's about to be like a sister. Okay. It is a sister. She's pretty cute. Okay.
Oh,
Hold on, guys. No, I don't mean like that cute. I'm not trying to go to jail. Just, okay. Alright, we're okay here. I'm not going that far. Okay. Dad handed his jacket to Hina and loosened his tie, fitting into the living room. Yeah, I know I can't do dangerous stuff, but I'm just the protagonist, so I have to. Sorry, Hina. I was planning on coming home earlier and helping you with dinner too. This face she's making. Has anyone ever been in prison?
What did I do? You know it's illegal.
That's all I'm gonna ask. Gotcha. I'll make it up to you sometime, alright?
本日アガルタ中央駅前にてアウトキャストによる違法な魔法使用事件が発生しました。幸い死傷者は出なかった模様ですが、ビルのガラスが割れるなどの被害が出ました。
Hey, no casualties.
魔法否定論がより活発になる恐れがあり。
Anti-magic protest. Turn it on the TV after dinner when you found the news reporting on today's incident. So, what was the culprit's motive anyway?
捜査中の事件についての情報を一般人のお前にペラペラ喋ると思うか?
Come on, Dad.
お前が気にするようなことじゃない。
I guess so, but...
それより暇なら腹ごなしに付き合え。
I wasn't prepared at all, so the best I could do was clutch the item thrown at me to my chest. The distinct scent of leather tickled my nose. Some people aren't fond of the scent, but I don't mind at all. Alright, bring it on. I stuck the baseball glove on my left hand, punched it once, and then followed that outside. Oh, dad bombed in time.
もっと肘を上げろ。そんなんじゃ痛めるぞ。
Oh, bonding with dad. Like this? But I have a very strange feeling something's going to go terribly wrong soon. Not yet, but soon. I tried to place my elbow higher when I threw the ball, like he said. When the ball left my fingers, it drew a gentle arc in the air and fell into dad's glove.
いいぞ、その調子だ。
I only ever played catch with you though, so I don't think I'm ever gonna get hurt.
肘の痛みを甘く見るな。一度癖がついたら完全には治らないぞ。
Yeah, that's why you had to stop playing and went through all the heartache, I know, or heartbreak, I know. But I'm not the ace of the team, carrying its fate on my shoulder. But I'm not the ace of the team carrying its fate on my shoulders. I'm laying it on our team, in fact. I like being active, generally. It doesn't bother me to keep my dad company like this. But I'm not such a dedicated son that I'd give up my whole youth to fulfill his long-abandoned dreams.
魔法なんてものがなかったら、もしかしたらお前も俺と同じように汗水垂らしてグラウンドの上を駆け回っていたかもしれないな。
Not this again. Sure, I'm probably less interested in sports in general, but I think that's kind of unrelated. Athletes only get attention because they pull off things most people can't. That is, most people would give up on running 100 meters in 9 seconds, or hitting out of the park home run before they even tried. People are excited to see others achieve things that they could never do. That was the world before people learned about magic. With hate, you can do almost anything. Well, just because I'm a caster doesn't mean I can do everything. I can't hit an out of the park home run, for instance. Right now, the best I could do would probably be throwing a fireball pitch. But when you look back at just a few years ago, it's still an incredible accomplishment. Naturally, I don't remember much about the impact magic had on society at the time, but I can easily guess that it was immeasurable. If you go out in town nowadays, it's unusual to see casters walking around wearing their rings. Household rice cookers, and like magic functions too. To put it simply, people have gotten used to fairy tale magic they once thought only existed in fiction. People really can become accustomed to the most incredible things, which is something I'm more likely to be impressed by than Park Run.
何をブツブツ言ってる？また小難しいことを考えてるのか？
Oh god, we've been talking to ourselves this entire time. Hey, Dad. What do you think? What did you think when you learned about magic?
どうって、最初は驚いたが、目の前で見せられたからは、ああ、こういうもんもあるんだなとしか思わなかったな。
I just had to accept it, hopefully. Don't you think you were a bit too quick to accept it?
他にどうしろと言うんだ。実際に周りの人間が魔法を使い始めたんだ。受け入れるしかないだろう。
But you still don't like magic, do you?
そりゃな。俺はお前と違って魔法の素養がほとんどない一般人だからな。何か変わったって実感は少ない。変わったのは仕事が増えたってくらいだ。魔法を使って犯罪を起こすバカが後を絶たないからな。
How come the crime rates have increased?
魔法があろうがなかろうが人間は犯罪を犯す。はるか昔に法律が作られてから現在に至るまでそれは変わりようがない事実だ。ただ魔法ができたせいでそのボーダーラインが下がってるってだけの話だ。他人にできないことができるようになったらやりたくなるって気持ちはわからんでもない。
Like wanting to shoot a gun if you have one? I read that sentence so wrong, but it still conveys the same meaning. Like wanting to shoot if you have a gun.
同じだな。突然手に入れた力のせいで、まるで自分自身が強くなったと錯覚する。錯覚して羽目を外したくなる。
I guess it's no fun if you can hit a home run, but you can't show it to anyone.
お前も一言だと思うなよ。わざわざ事件に首を突っ込むのもそれと同じだ。
It's not like that. I don't go out of my way to do anything. I don't have to. It's not like I think of myself as anything special. I don't want to go through anything scary, and I don't like pain. But if someone's in trouble and I'm the only one who can help them, then I have to. It's just how I think.
別にフィクションと違って悪が正義を飲み込むのなんて現実世界じゃ日常茶飯事だぞ。
But if I just turn a blind eye, it might as well be as bad as the criminal. I don't want that. I don't have the guts to stand back and just let people be hurt.
たく、呆れるくらい頑固だな。だからって魔法を使って騒ぎを起こしていいとは言えないぞ。少なくとも俺の立場からはな。
I know. I already try not to use magic outside as much as possible, but I'll put a little more effort into it. I feel bad if you got in trouble because of me.
俺の立場がどうのじゃ。いやまあ、それもまずいんだが。
He's a damn keeper. All these problems. And Haruto's feeling pretty standard anime protagonist at this point. Oh my god, that voice! I just died a little bit inside. Hina stuck her head out the window and waved at us. Got it. We'll be right there. I think there's a little squiggly that I don't really know how I'm supposed to read a squiggly though. You know. As I was taking off my glove, Dad thrust his hand out at me. The glove's still on it. Ooh. He wound up and released the ball. He put too much strength into it, and it sure actually veered off a little. I stretched out my arm right away, but the ball slipped from my glove and hit the ground. No, I still should have been able to catch it. Guess I haven't been practicing enough. I'll never make it to nationals at this rate. With an exasperated chuckle, Dad walked up to me, holding his glove.
Haruto, いろいろ言ったが、これだけは覚えておけ。
Well, what?
人生ってのは野球みたいにラインでファウルとフェアがきっちり区切られているわけじゃない。何が正しくて何が間違ってるかなんて言ってしまえば誰にもわからない。だから俺たちは自分自身を信じて、自分が打った打球を信じて走り出すしかないんだ。それだけは忘れるなよ。
Alright. I don't think I really understood what Dad meant. But he went inside after that. And when I thought about Hina sitting in front of that apple waiting for us, I couldn't spend more time thinking too deeply about it. Cocooned myself up in my blankets like a caterpillar. In this season, the cold is harsh at night. It's not so bad when you're in the covers, but I'd wake up if I kicked my blanket off. It had been about 10 minutes since I got into bed. It's about the time I should have... It was about the time I should have been getting sleepy. When I emptied my head, all of a sudden I found myself remembering the events of the day. I studied like usual at the academy, but ran into an outcast on my way home. What are outcasts? That's my only question right now. Come to think of it, what's the deal with that girl? How is she such a bitch? Now that I think about it, I kind of feel like I saw her before that. But then again, I kind of don't. She was wearing the academy uniform, so maybe I just passed her around campus? That sounds like it might be right. Then again, it kind of doesn't. I tried pretty seriously to remember where I'd seen her. But any sense of purpose is powerless before the Sandman. Before I knew it, I'd fallen deep into slumber. Or into a deep sleep. I really can't English, but I'm somehow conveying the same meaning, and I'm not sure why. Alright, and let's Senri. Oh. So I can go to different episodes. As you advance the story, new scenes will become available. After the scene unlock notification, you can choose a new scene on the episode jump screen. The episode jump screen can be used at any time. Moving to a new scene halfway through a different one will allow you to restart the scene that you're in the middle of. You can freely choose which parts of the story you'd like to read next. Okay, that's nice. They let you go like where you want to go. So Haruto is this guy, and Senri is that guy. So is this what? Is that the prologue essentially? And then is this what? Yeah. Okay. So I think we have to go here next. I'm pretty sure how that works. Wait, let me see what this is. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we're supposed to go to Senri. I'm pretty sure this is just what we did before, so I'm gonna just go here. So I'd make something.
予約してる店があるから行かないって言ってるだろ
Look how even the extras are voice acting. Under countless haphazardly placed neon signs, voices called out ceaselessly persistent in an attempt to draw in business from the streets. This town's the same as always. It was the same as what I saw every night in the entertainment district. I passed by them without altering my pace, paying the exchange no mind. Until the woman fell to the ground in front of me, apparently shoved by the man in the suit. Oh shit, what's going on here? The man appeared pleased to have resolved his situation.
この町に良心的な店なんかないんだから、予約した店でぼったくられればいいんだ。She certainly was aggressive for her work. As soon as she realized she was blocking my path, she put her work face right back on. 恥ずかしいとこ見られちゃった。今ので足くじいちゃって。できれば抱き起こしてほしい。
No. She seemed to notice something and straightened up, maintaining the uncomfortable proximity she gained with me.
ごめん。お兄さんだったか。元気してた？
Does she know me? No. Go see a doctor. Just in case.
足のことなら演技だよ。ボディタッチは基本戦術だしね。でもお兄さん相手に小細工は通用しないし、する必要もないよね。
People in her line of work pay a lot of attention to the people when they see on the streets. Or to the people they see. I've been here for a year now, so even if we're not well acquainted, it's only natural that she'd recognize me.
一回くらい寄ってってよ。お兄さんみたいな人なら超歓迎なんだけどな。お店に内緒で料金私持ちでいいよ。
Hey, are you sure her name isn't actually Thought? Because you need to be gone, Miss Tot. Thought. There's somewhere I gotta be.
残念。お仕事頑張ってね。
That was an unproductive use of my time. I'll have to take the other road next time I come by here. Damn savage. There's relaxation to be had even in an entertainment district. Passions whirling through the air. The first of which could be the hard-working vending machine that sits to the side of these business streets, watching over the crowds impartially, its weak light somehow pitiable. Nothing again. Back to square one. I took the can of a red Re-D elephant, full of amino acids and vitamins, the strongest beverage, definitely. Tipped it back. It's not as refreshing as vegetable drink, but it does do the work. Preserves its reputation as a drinkable for. I still had pieces of rich chicken I'd eaten on my escape stuck between my teeth. My thirst was rapidly quenched, at least. The man's savage. He stopped and got food on his, escape from whatever. I took a rest, gazing passively at the ground, blackened with gum and garbage, and at the crowded buildings above. When I drained the can of half its contents, a shadow fell before me. A cat, maybe? Oh no. A man. A suit I remembered seeing a few minutes ago lay before me. He'd fallen to the ground, taking signs and recycling bins with him. He just got bodied. Ooh. Perhaps he'd hit his shoulder when he fell? The man was curled up, but conscious. Was it dislocated or broken? Either way, it wouldn't kill him. Oh god, who is this?
教会で一発もらった分のストレス解消してるだけっすよね、竹丸さん。ミッキー君は男の生理だったんだからしょうがないだろ。哲が気にしてるのは一向に成功しないナンパの方だよ。
A well-dressed man on the other side of the street looked like he'd been thrown in much the same way.
控えこのチームカラーが目に入らねえか。俺たち自警団がクソぼった店と家庭ほったらかしで夜遊びする種馬くんに天中下してやったぜ。
Oh, damn, they're just beating up dudes. They just out here.
ご通行の皆さん、本当に危ないとこでしたね。俺様ちゃんたちの活躍によってホームの平和は守られましたよ。
The touts? I don't even know how to say that word. Fled into their shops, and the passerbys who'd come out from the alleyways had commotion scattered as well. Self-proclaimed vigilante corps looked at all over this scene proudly. Another sight that I can't say is out of the ordinary in the entertainment district. They're scoundrels who do nothing but hit on women, extort people, and pick fights. But they've got into their heads that their job is to deter crime.
いつまで丸まってんだよ。そんな言い方ねえだろ。ほら、さっさと勉強代出そうね。
許して。もう来ないから。生活費も入ってて。
Dang, not feeling good right now. I feel you got coming from work and just not feeling it. I have no interest in their peacekeeping, and there's no need for me to watch this whole scene play out. I see my man Senri, or whatever, reflection, whatever you want to call him, is very passive. I'm feeling that in a weird way. He just doesn't care. He's a savage. I took back to my can, savoring the last drop, and went to dispose of my garbage in the nearest receptacle, passing through the group of men. See, this is what I don't get. Like, this is anime stuff, you know? Like, if there's a man who is so nonchalantly not caring about you, he's going to body you. That's just anime 101. Like, if he doesn't care, even though you're a very intimidating group of people, he's going to body you. It's just how it works. It's anime.
そんなことより、おっさん横にすんの手伝えよ。ケツポケに財布あっからさ。
Yeah, just leave me alone. Don't make my man body you. I heard a voice from behind me, but didn't turn around since he hadn't left an impression on me. Instead, I stood up the bin again and disposed of my can. Oh my god. That was savage.
天下のホームで俺らに挨拶なしか？誰のおかげで平和に暮らせてると思ってんすかね。
Okay, Vigilante Yoshida, you don't want this work, so don't even say anything.
厄介なのに絡まれちゃったね。さっさと振り向いて謝らないとあんたもぶん投げられちゃうよ。
It's nothing to be making such a fuss over. Why do they go to so much trouble to get involved with me when I'm nothing but an extra? Whoa. Okay, okay, dot dot dot.
おい、クソ雑魚くん。無視して逃げてんじゃねえぞ。
As they indicated, I was trying to leave, but when I felt a violent hand on my shoulder and heard the tearing of fabric, dot dot dot.
ビリだってビリ。最初から焦げてた気がするんですけど、火遊びですか？
Ah, it's a part of a shirt already ripped from the more dude Haruto. Okay. The vestiges? I don't know. Of my encounter with the blue flame on my shoulder of my coat. I hadn't even noticed that the boy's scorching heat still lingered on my arm. Thought I avoided it completely, but for this to happen with only a graze was impressive. His range was far too wide.
なんかおとなしくなっちまったな。暴力が怖いもんな。わかるわかる。俺らも痛いの嫌だもん。なあ、わかるよな。
Come to think of it, I've gotten involved here, haven't I? I don't want to go through the trouble of opening my mouth, so I gave him a non-committal nod and stuck my hand I had placed on my burnt coat into my pocket. I turned around and looked the man over.
なんだよ。男のくせに綺麗な面してんじゃ。
That's kind of gay. It's like, stop.
これで1年前にミッキー君を軽くあしらったやつじゃ。確かセンリさんでしたよね。おい、どうして誰も後ろ姿で判別つかなかったんだよ。どうすんだよこの状況。
Dang, so I got a reputation. Kind of like how we're getting like these different perspectives for characters. Because like Haruto is kind of like the standard, like try hard, always help someone in trouble protagonist, and Senri seems to kind of be like the nonchalant badass type of protagonist, which I like both. Like it depends on like how they're presented. So far, I'm liking both of their characters. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it takes them. I bought a Re-D elephant for everyone present, setting the cans on the ground. You lose your temper when you're thirsty, don't you? Here, have a Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Oh, I skipped that. I put one to the cheek of the man in the suit, still curled up in a ball. He twitched and looked up timidly at my face. There's one for you, too. I don't know why I'm giving him a deep voice. His voice probably wouldn't have to be that deep. I left the area, taking advantage of the sudden silence. No one else called out to me on my way. An apartment above a business establishment. I unlocked my door and stepped in, only to find the butt of a trespassing caterpillar in the perfect position for a good kick.
17回って言えばどれだけ待ちくたびれたかわかるん？
dot dot dot.
私が暇すぎて新作のモバイルゲームをリセットマラソンした回数。リセットマラソンっていうのはね、初期ボーナス召喚で強キャラ出るまで赤消しを繰り返すことを指すんです。
Is her name actually Caterpillar, or are we just calling her that?
でしょ？ゲームを始めるためのゲームだよ。びっくりするよね。これ以上無駄な行為ないって思ったでしょ。
I don't think my Outcast. Whoa. Okay. Okay. That's all. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Okay. I like the heart. She's got a heart. belt. She got a heart for her necklace. And I think her earrings are little hearts too. Alright then. Da.
スルーいただきました。ちょっとこの放置プレイに興奮を隠しきれませんね。
No, gasp, 18 plus content. Oh no. Oh, okay, no, I'm just joking. The hearts in her eyes too, okay. Right. She's got some hearts going on. She squirmed in those seductive hot pants of hers, shaking her hips as though she was exercising.
私ってばほら、基本無料だから。
I see another thought. It'd be a shame if she were to be gone.
Be gone! ちょっと黄ばんだのでも喜んで飲んじゃう。飲み干しちゃう。
Excuse me?
あ、もっと高くお尻上げた方がしやすい？これ完全に入ってるよね。
Excuse me? If I leave her alone, she'll keep going. I'm at a disadvantage here. I try to get her to leave, so I can't ignore her anymore. Even if it's not on paper, since I'm paying you rent, this counts as my room, doesn't it?
憎い言い回しだ。センちゃんの憎い肉棒くらい肉々しくって憎い？
Excuse me? So, okay, I'm sorry. What's going on here?
やばい。なんでこんなくったらないセリフで。
It was pretty stupid.
自分のセリフでツボに。やば。ちょっとタイム。
Look at his face. He's just like, I'm so done with this bitch. No shit. Oh my god, Senri. His face. He's just like, I'm so done with this.
気を取り直して。私とセンちゃんの仲じゃん。もっと気楽に行こうよ。
Can't we just be friends? I don't know who this is, but this woman is actually pretty funny. Listen, Geha. Okay, she has a name. She has a name, I like it. Stand up for a minute. Oh, is he about to do some savage stuff? My loitering landlady crawled closer and smiled like the Cheshire cat. Wait, is this... So she's the landlord? Is she, like, just chilling here? She coiled herself around my legs like some sort of nightmare creature. The landlady. Come on. What? Okay. Alright. I'm just gonna keep going. Just gonna ignore that. As she made me drag her whole body weight over to the couch. She seemed the very picture of a sloth. Oh my god. Good. Good. If I poke it, maybe it will close. Geha refused. I'm guessing it's Geha, I don't know. Refused to support her own weight even as she bumped against all my furniture on the way over to the couch. When I tossed her on top of it, she made a sound like a squealing piglet. Okay, I'm gonna need you to chill before you eviscerate. No, stop. The word pout hardly applied here, but I silently sat her up without pointing out that piece of information. People can ruin themselves spending too much time lying down. One should limit the relaxation to the times when their brain is setting out signals of fatigue, but this sloth will keep relaxing for far too long, or far longer than she needs to. But if you plant your feet on the ground again, you can regain your rationality. I know it's faster at this point to just set her up myself. I did not. I haven't spoken to you since the day before yesterday. Geha is acquainted with a good number of unauthorized casters in the entertainment district. Outcast, in other words. Okay, so outcasts are like the unauthorized ones. I got it. She manages a business through this network that she offers work that, while temporarily and borderline illegal, pays extremely well. Even if there are crimes that could probably only be committed by an outcast, it's hard to imagine those leading to any profitable business. How then does this work turn a profit? Well, the biggest reason is probably the particular position outcasts enjoy. Regular police officers can't stand against their power. That alone makes them incredibly troublesome. A culprit caught in the act could easily escape arrest before Burst has time to arrive at the scene. It's a different story when they commit serious crimes like murder, robbery, or arson, but the police will give up on investigating most minor offenses. That's quite lazy. After all, there's a precedent of outcasts endangering crowds, bystanders during their escapes. Okay, I see. So police let the small crimes slip because they don't want to put people in danger. The gatehouse business thrives only because of the way things are currently balanced. Really, it could be destroyed at any moment.
いやあんまり見つめちゃ穴が開いちゃうよセンちゃん。私に重課金かっこ借りしちゃう
Oh god, this woman. Geha can be shrewd sometimes, and she makes her money from selling information. She rarely has to do any of the work herself, and she seems careful enough that no one who gets in trouble could bring it back to her. I'm glad your work seems to be going well for you.
私みたいなのが楽して生きるにはコツコツ貯めたコネを有効に活用するしかないしね。
Just stop getting me involved in those connections of yours, the criminal ones.
いた頭がいた持病の課金癖と記憶喪失が同時になんてそんな
Oh my god. She said my chronic pain addiction. Oh gosh, this woman, she's a rat. She's a joke. I'm talking about 2 days ago. I only went there because you said some personal friends were in trouble and I just had to. And I find your pals playing tag with Burst. His face, he's so tired of his shit. The two of them got away in the commotion I caused during my escape, by the way.
Huh?
She looked at me as if to say, what about it? With no regard for the crime she'd asked me to bet for her. Still, we'll never come to an agreement if we just keep this up. That's just what Geha is like. I have to put up with that behavior if I want information from her. I was in the city center on my own business, but there's two punks sneaking around in the parking lot. Did that have anything to do with you?
あっちゃあいつらね。私が仕事あげないもんだからこっすい車上荒らしに手を出しちゃったか。
I like that name drop right there. Grand Theft Auto. Okay, alright.
せっかく組むなら一発逆転で美術館でも狙えば面白いのに。アトリ狩りなんて脳なしが真っ先に食いつきそうな芸のない遊びだね。
Tory hunting? I don't know what that is. I'm not in this business, Geha. Fill me in here.
一つ上の魔法技術を提供するアトリ。シェア率トップのマギメーカーも知らないの？
Like how I said that I didn't know what that is, and it was immediately explained to me. Thanks, game. No, that's enough. I just wanted to know Tori's connections to the vehicle thievery, but I think I've got it figured out. They're probably after the magic converters and hybrid cards. The latest magic technology would be involved in such large-scale parts manufacturing, and I hear Tori's monopolized the market. They can check from outside the car using a magic detector, and do the deed if they get a response. But that's what was going on. From them, it's probably killing two birds with one stone to go after valuable Tori products, while they treasure hunt in less secure vehicles. As I thought about all that with my eyes still pointed at Geha, she smiled languidly. Languidly? I don't know. Probably thinking there was some other reason for my gaze.
色気ありすぎてごめん。目の保養も行き過ぎると毒だよね。一緒に気持ちよく一本行きます？副上司しときます？
Not gonna lie, they made her quite well endowed there, but we're gonna keep on keeping on. We're Senri now, guys. We're not ourselves, so we have to be a savage. You only have the one life your parents gave you. Make sure you treat it with care. Ooh, he said don't be a thought, cause
顔色一つ変えないでやんの。ああ、はいはい、そうですか。フィオナが同じこと言ったら動揺するくせに。
Kosaki Fiona Annabelle. My only impression of that woman is that I have no impression. Likewise, I had no impression of her comment, so I just nodded instead of responding.
いっつも思うんだけどさ、7つの大罪のほとんどを網羅する最底辺の私なんかとよくくっちゃべれるね。
Your pointless chatter didn't start yesterday.
私みたいな頭悪そうなやつと話すの、時間の無駄って思わない？
I only do what I need to do, after all. I replied in no time, savagery. A wise man hides in a leaf in a forest, and an outcast hides in the entertainment district. I got you. Geha owns a building that's perfect for hiding out, and you're much more clever than somebody with no self-awareness.
センちゃん、私が知性的だなんて、もしかして口説いてる？
No, I'm not, you dumb bitch. More importantly, Geha, the conversation was going nowhere good, so I had to cut it short.
もう待てな。
No, you horny bitch. I narrowed my eyes when she wrapped her arms around herself and gave me a sickening look.
じゃあワンちゃんにクエスト報酬をあげよう。
She listlessly headed over to the refrigerator and returned carrying a Tupperware container as big as a sink.
おでんの残り汁で作ったもったいない雑炊。量だけはあるからがっつり食べてたっぷり精をつけてね。課金兵の夜は長いぞ。
Okay. I opened the plain lid and a simple Japanese scent came from the container. I grabbed a soup spoon and casually brought some to my lips.
どう？
No thoughts in particular. It's not really bad or good. Good or bad? Why did I read that backwards? I swear I'm like stupid or something.
褒めてくれなきゃ財産全課金しよう。ランキング1位目指そう。
It's much more pedestrian flavor than I expected.
そんなんじゃわかんない。
Trying to say your cooking sucks ass. I can really taste the pork flavor. It's not bad.
豚ってもう一回言って。私のことをじっと見つめてクソメス豚って言って。ブーブーうるせえ豚肉だなって罵って。
Okay, she is coming on really strong right now, and I'm liking it. And I shouldn't be. I'm gonna keep going. They say that you can glean someone's true personality from how they cook. Is that true? It was plain. So very plain. Interesting. Oh, did I click on the background? No mistake. It was low-effort home cooking with leftover ingredients. Not something I'd pay money for, and not something I'd risk dangerous favors to obtain. But I swallowed it, and it went down just fine. It was the ultimate average cooking. Eating it, I felt awfully relaxed. When I realized I'd put away half of the soup, I happened to look up and notice that muddy smile of hers just in front of me. You've got a coat-hugging fetish, I see.
夏と冬にエアコンを壊して回る趣味ならあるけど。
That's not a fetish, it's terrorism.
これは私の優しさよ、優しさ。このままじゃ職質されるでしょ。
Having glanced at my shoulder, Geha looked over the tears in my coat and muttered, "Time for that, then." I've never screwed up one of her favors before, so she's probably not worried. Or she's probably not worried I'm injured.
コート借りるね。 擦り切れたりした生地を自然に修復できるマギがあるの。お蔵入りしちゃってたから、この機会に試そっと。
Do as you like.
あ、余計にひどくなるんだろうとか心配してる？ばっかだね、センちゃん。自然な糸のつなぎ目がセールスポイントだよ。ワゴン品だけど。
Give it back by tomorrow. With the well then, Geha made to leave my room.
大したことじゃないんだろうけど、センちゃんが戻ってくる前にインターホン連打中がいたよ。
Probably just somebody like you. Some, well, this word, I've seen this word like twice in my life and I don't know what it is. I'm gonna say banal. Banal mischief. Nice. Okay, let me stop.
時間を空けて結局3回。
3 times. You didn't answer the door. You could have at least made note of what they looked like.
次こそはって思ったとこでやんじゃった。センちゃんのストーカーじゃない？
Probably. I honestly thought you were my stalker. It's probably the collector after you.
コレクター？リング狩りの。ってやめてよ、怖いこと言うの。
The number of times this visitor came made me think they were up to no good. Definitely stunk of some ill will, but since I had no way to confirm the truth, I decided not to think about it.
じゃ、仕事と課金に戻ろっと。
I nodded, her nonchalant words of parting not leaving any sort of impression on me.
ごちそうさまがなくっても伝わるよ。
Collecting the Tupperware, now empty of a single drop of broth or grain of rice, Geha took her leave. Unlocked Haruto Rep Day 2. Ooh, okay, so we got Day 2 for Senri, and we got Day 2 for Haruto. Well, actually, that's probably where I'm going to cut this episode here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, I am the Viable Newbie. And make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe for more daily content. I will probably be putting out another episode of this tomorrow. It depends on how long these are, but from this point on, for like each day, that might be an episode. I'll see how long they are. Maybe a day or two will be each episode. I just wanted to kind of do a long one just to get started for the first part of the series. So yep, once again, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.